Revo's the Wolf here once again, and we're coming back talking once again about the Rings of Power. Where, once again, they're in controversy and turmoil over the decisions that they make with this show. As it's been circling around and went viral, the image of when Bronwyn was giving the speech to the people of the Southern Lands, how they copied and pasted most of their audience. Now, actually, this is one of the more earlier clips of them copy and pasted. I've seen one where if you really pay attention and you really follow, like right here, I've seen one where it's a lot more fleshed out. Over a third of this audience, almost half, is copy and pasted. Over half of this is copy and pasted, and it's been a big thing amongst the community because this is $1 billion show. Why the hell are you copy and pasting? And people have mocked them. On Reddit, you will see Let's Say Nothing on how Galadriel got her armor back magically. I didn't even think about that. That is her exact fighting armor. Wow. That was the amount they thought they could get away with without being too obvious. And then people have brings out how let me see this one. No. So yeah, there's some where they're still circling people. But you know, let's be honest. And also on the episode, there's episodes that starting to break down where when they were on a horseback on the way to the Southernlands, when the Numenorians landed, how even on the horseback they got copied and pasted. So now director, one of the directors from the Castlevania, he defends them. Says the Rings of Power defends the Rings of Power use of copy and paste extras. Sam Dietz, director of the Castlevania TV show, had the perfect response to tweet that criticized Lord of the Rings of Power duplicating its extras. After a viral tweet mocked Prime's video of Lord of the Rings of Power production techniques, a director from Netflix Castlevania animated series, Samuel Dietz, jumped to the show's defense. The fan-delivered scorn was backed by a picture of, this is what we were talking about, it's and about the $1 million budget. However, Dietz, quote, tweeting the original tweet, explained that Castlevania is full of duplicates, adding that he and his team would much rather spend our time making everyone else better. Which is fine, and I'll go into why I think that's happening in a moment. The Rings of Power, that's something else, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's right here. Okay. The copy and paste criticism isn't the only controversy Ring of Power has been subject to. Fans criticize the action scenes involving Mr. Clark, who is written on the novel as a non-violent character. Clark responded to these critiques, explaining this is something else completely. I do apologize. So, what do I think this is about? This is a sign of people frustrated with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power in particular, that they are not getting what they thought they were going to get. With Moyfield Clark's version of Galadriel, she's unnaturally stern, unrealistically stern. She's arrogant, she's rude, she's always right. You make her an unlikable character off the jump, and they keep promising that this is going to be some great art where she's going to somehow transform into the Galadriel that people are used to when they watch Lord of the Rings. But how the hell can you do that from how rigid she is now? She's completely detestable, and she's damn near evil. She's threatening to eradicate Adar and they've taken so many liberties with this show. She wants to eradicate Adar and the elves, promising that she'll keep him alive until she kill all of them, and then she's gonna whisper in his ear. Like, this is not the character, right? And so it's kind of like that relationship. You know how the flaws have been there the whole time, but now that y'all on the outs, you're on the outs with the person you with, all of a sudden it's magnified. Like, they always snored, but you know, y'all having fights and oh my God, is he snoring again? She snore. I can't stand when you snore, but they've been snoring the whole time. The director's right. Everybody's done it. Everybody duplicates. It's just not like this one, and they didn't resize them. They didn't spread them out. Most times they're in the same area. So now when they do make these errors, or when they do insult, when you insult your fan base like this, any misstep you make is going to be magnified. People are now, be honest with you, I don't really like the show, but people are now going to be looking for every single scene of things that make no sense because you've already pissed off the fan base. The fan base ain't looking for anything positive here now because you already changed so much. They don't want to see the positives, and this is something that's not going to change. Why? This show's already it's already signed up for a five season deal. And so the problem with that is when you have a 5-season deal, and because it's done by Amazon for $1 billion, you can just throw anything out there. But because you have this whole arc, instead of making sure that each season is done perfectly as best to your ability, you just oversaturate it with these details because you're spending all this money on the CGI. That's where all the money goes. You look at the CGI, you look at the backgrounds, they're all pretty, they're all beautiful, but when you look at the minutia, the fights, you look at details like just her giving a speech. You can't hire some extras to just stand there and walk off. I understand you using duplicates, but not to where it's like almost half the crowd. So it's like, if it's half the crowd that's duplicates, you mean to tell me you only really paid like 20 people, 15 people, or 30 people? You just need them to stand there. And it's bad. And it's going to keep getting worse because they're taking liberties with this show that make no sense. You have another thing with the volcano, and at the end of episode 6, makes no sense. And so it's just gonna keep happening. And then you got these sites that's trying to come out and defend it because it's Amazon. So of course, let's be honest, they got some of these publishers, they got some of these things in their back pocket ready to come to defend it whenever it does something wrong or put a spin on it, come up with some weird analytics to show that this is right. But I'll keep bringing you news on this. Again, I do thank you. What do you think about Samuel Dietz's response to them writing and paste? And I will be looking in the comments. I do hope you leave one. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Real Wolf. Goodbye for now.